Jason, it's just pouring rain. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Did you light up this one?
Yesterday. Yep. Little different climate.
Definitely.
This is weird for you guys.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
October, over 100.
Yeah.
You guys both live in the San Jose area.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm in San Francisco.
Okay. So it's a little colder.
It is, but October is usually our hottest month.
Yeah.
So it's usually a lot hotter here than San Francisco, but it's all still.
How long have you guys been with KIS?
Just over here.
Okay.
Yeah, I recently came over from Mercado.
Okay.
So it's my first quarter actually.
What do you think, Jay?
I should give you my card as well.
Sales director for the West. So
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. Got it, guys. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, Alex.
Sure. I know you want to make more competitive for the drone, but that's.
Yeah, I know. Seriously. Jason Burrell, SC director for the West on Seattle.
Yep.
Here in Alex on my team as well. So trying something new. We're like it's this presentation's part AI, what we're doing with it, and part insurance. So it's like very extreme, let's say different topics and see how it goes.
You can kind of keep it interactive too a little bit. Did you guys all stop by the booth? Do you guys know Arctic Wolf? Are you familiar with Arctic Wolf? Okay.
There are customers. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can see we'll show some new stuff. Not Arctic Wolf customer, not Arctic customer. You know much about us? No. Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, it's good. Like it's clicker.
Working.
It's big one. Just do that. Just do it. So I'll build it out. The highest level, we take data from endpoint, network, cloud, identity, and human sources. And we put this all. Oh, now we're down to 25% chances for this drone. That's a big shift. Big shift there. This happened. But yeah, on the whole, we take data from a lot of places, cram it into our platform, and we deliver services out of it. A few things: managed detection response, we're known for mainly. Also managed risk, which is vulnerability management, security awareness, very popular, and incident response, which is recovering people after something bad happens. Next slide. Let's go. But I want to try something fun with the AI stuff that our team's working on. I worked with our VP of AI on it, and basically what I wanted to highlight is that the losses have gone up a lot. I want to scare you all. That's the whole point of any cybersecurity presentation. It's like start with the scare. So scary, scary, scary. Things are getting worse. AI is going to make that much worse. Next slide. Some ways, like we've seen new attacks happening, is a lot of insider threat. What that means is someone's either tricked an employee via AI voices, things like that, to swap the SIM. Then I'm like reset my factor of authentication, and now Arctic Wolf's having to detect something that's already in the environment. It's an admin that's doing something that they're supposed to be doing. It's getting harder and harder to detect things. It's not a vulnerability that happened that someone got in. It's actually now you've tricked employees. So example of that. So now we have to catch this later. That means we need to get faster. Slide. Some examples of this. There's some stories where someone posted a video of the Pentagon blowing up and it caused a stock dip. That was all fake and generated, as well as like transferring money. You get on a Zoom call and everyone's actually been faked and deep faked all of that. So security is getting more and more complex. Thank you, AI. It's awesome. Next slide. So what does it take to like combat new threats like this? You need some sort of massive scale. Like an example of this would be like Tesla and how much data they collect, people driving around. You need all of this data. Let's say we take all of the Reddit posts and we now start mining this for information. You need diverse data. So like can't just have, let's say all the roads, but they're only in the US. It's not very useful. You're going to need data from all sorts of places. Same thing applies to security hooks. And like maybe you don't take all of your data from Reddit. You might need something else to cross-reference it because it might just be a joke. And AI doesn't understand jokes. And then we need some sort of model. I think this is like the secret sauce here. You need humans to actually figure out what's real and what's not. And if you hop to the next slide, example of some like massive scale that it takes for ChatGPT to train it. It started pretty small at 117 million, and now it's up to 1 trillion parameters it's taking into account. We need a lot of data for this. The same thing for like doing full self-driving and stuff like that. It's taking petabytes and petabytes of data to train to get effective. Tons of scale. The diversity side of it, like for example, how ChatGPT works, it's a lot of crawling the web, but also like it's got to get some from books and text, and it's getting more and more complex about where the data sources are. And then you need the human factor. So example of this is if you ask AI to give me salmon in a stream, it's not true. There's salmon swimming upstream, just happens to be some fillets.
Those look like chunks, Jason.
They do look like chunks, right? So you need some sort of human factor to fill in the gap of that. So what that looks like, and I have another example here. Like the example, if you ask it to craft a good healthy or an order that's 1,000 calories from Taco Bell that's balanced and tasty. Like, what does that mean from Taco Bell? Well, maybe nothing's balanced and tasty from Taco Bell, but if you ask AI, it might give you a list like this, which is a bunch of Diet Pepsi, some brisk tea, and a bunch of fire sauce packets. Now, how is AI supposed to know that these things mix? It's impossible. So you need a human to go and be like, that's not right. It's probably some Baja tacos or something. So how does this apply to Arctic Wolf? Now I'm down this weird rabbit hole. I can skip past this, but like there's some other fun examples I have. But applying this to cybersecurity, here's how you do it. You need a massive scale of data. We have that because we have petabytes and petabytes of security data, which is great. But even that alone is not that useful. You need to have all these varied attack surfaces. So an average Arctic Wolf customer from us is going to come from, they have one of 20 different endpoints, and they're going to mix that with one of 15 different type of firewall manufacturers, and then they're going to mix that with maybe their G Suite, maybe their 365. So all of those combinations is a lot. So we have a lot of data diversity. So when we bring on a new customer, we can now match everything correctly, which is nice. And then our secret sauce is really we have a lot of people that can train these models. So we have 700 or so security engineers that are doing security tasks and triage every single day, and now we can model that. And what does this person do day after day after day with these different data sets? Next. So things that we're working on, things that we're making our platform better with, like new rule creation. So if we're having suggestive rules that are coming up, it's like, hey, I have all these tasks, like we could probably create these 3 or 4 rules. So have an AI assist with that, we still have a human behind it. Same for faster anomaly detection and insider threat detection. Back to my first slide, like how do we detect insider threats easier? There's behavior analysis and things like that that we can do a little bit better given the amount of data we have. From a triage perspective, we're trying to speed up our triage teams. So that's giving them suggested things to do. It's like, all right, you've seen this alert from CrowdStrike and they have Palo Alto. Probably run these queries to find out what the answer is. This is all stuff that Article's doing on your behalf. That's going to just reduce costs for you, and it allows us to detect things faster. And then there, now you got something to triage. Now it's like, how do I fix this? From a remediation perspective, that's also where we have assistants saying, hey, these are the 3 things that usually solve this problem. And it's suggesting that.
That's it. That's where we switch. Yeah.
Yeah, but AI is not enough. It only does so much. My example of AI not being enough is like you can have self-driving cars, all this cool stuff, but you still need insurance. They won't let you take that off your car because it's not that great. That's where I hand it over to my friend Alex. Talk you how we transfer risk past that.
Yeah, so, AI conversation is interesting both in terms of what it means to you as the likely attack party in terms of cybersecurity. And it's also of interest to us as a defendant against that action. But if you look at basically the scope of services that we provide, if you would build it out, Jason, basically you have the technological component or the platform. The AI piece would like live right in there, right? This is where we could benefit from enhancing our platform. And talking about detection and response and the technology of that is fun, but one thing that often gets left out, kind of lost in the shuffle, is this idea of a comprehensive view of the risk that you would have in your organization. Technology and ways to mitigate that are great. AI helps with that. But ability to transfer some of that risk out sometimes is the only way you can deal with it. And frankly, it's oftentimes underevaluated or underappreciated. So what I wanted to focus on is a couple of ways we do that for our customers, and also show you a couple of free tools that we have recently released. So of the three options that relate to risk transfer capability, the one probably of most interest to us, but the one that we don't directly touch is insurance. That's one of the clear caveats I have to make. When we talk about insurability and insurance, we don't sell insurance. Customers that have coverage from insurance companies oftentimes get referred to us, unfortunately, during incident response engagements. So we have very good understanding of what insurers like, what they need to successfully protect the customer, what they ask for, how they understand how risky that customer is. And a lot of what they do when they survey a customer, when they assess the risk, is something that we do already in the due course. Like we constantly evaluate our customers. So this bit we'll talk about in a moment. That's one of the tools that we released that helps you self-assess around that. But we also offer a couple of other things that are available to you pretty much immediately as a customer. So the pretty obvious one, the warranty bit. So as a customer, if you are a customer, I know some of you are here, you just by being a customer subscribing to most of our offerings, you would be a subject to receiving this coverage. So this is not, I know it kind of looks like an insurance policy, but it's not. You can think of it as a very compact, use case specific insurance policy supplement, but it's our way of saying, hey, if you find yourselves on our watch in a situation that is a qualified event described there, we have the ability to supplant financially the efforts that are already being undertaken. You're probably talking to legal counsel, your insurance is already involved. But the thing with insurance policies is that they're some of them are very ungainly, and a lot of them have very accepting language. So you may have things that are carved out of it. So the most obvious one is we have specific deductible on it. So you'll get insurance money, but you have to pay out to that deductible first. This helps cover that gap, for example. Another thing too is in some of the insurance policies, depending on how much risk in the view of the insurance company you represent, they may not insure you for certain specific use cases. So they may have a specific carve out around ransomware. So it'll protect you against everything except, like getting fire insurance here. It's not a part of standard insurance. So it's nice to have. It comes with you being our typical customer. So I just want to reiterate that you have that. Some of you may not be aware of that, even if you're a customer. Next.
In 2 minutes.
So this is the piece that also comes with majority of the customer ownership. This is the idea of us getting proactive and having the ability to show the customer how they can prepare for the unfortunate event of an incident response. So this gives you the ability to prepare, pre-plan, deposit some of the key data about who the key contact is, who is responsible for certain pieces of the infrastructure, what the lay of the land is. And it's also something that insurance companies look at when they write you an insurance policy. So like, are you prepared to respond to an event? Do you have a policy for it? So we help you craft that. There's actually an online interface for that you can go to. And actually what I'll do right now is show you a very quick way to get to it. So this is one of those things that you don't have to be a customer to really experience. You can go to the Arctic Wolf website, go to solutions in either Jumpstart or cyber insurance. And you'll basically be, find out, you'll be deposited into a self-service portal that allows you to do planning, will allow you to do self-assessment. So basically the same process for understanding how your NIST score or your CIS score looks like at that point in time is basically how the insurance companies look at it. I'm sorry I'm down here, so I can't show you. We're almost out of time anyways. But I would highly recommend going to this. Just explore it. You don't have to be, again, a customer to take advantage of it, but it does allow you to self-assess and get an idea of how something like that would factor in. If you're actually looking at renewing cyber insurance or getting new policy, let us know. That's something we can actually help you. Even if you're not a customer, we are in a good position to explain to your broker what we can do for you and help you get a better rate on insurance or get you insurance in the first place. So that's that.
Drone time.
Oh, yeah.
Any questions before we raffle the drone?
So does that mean that you also buy the IR policy, or you just get all the?
We supplant that. So we don't actually write the manual, but we actually do have some pre-baked IR playbooks that we share with you, and we kind of put some structure around the process for you.
Okay, does that also mean that you become part of the exercise team? They use that.
Whether we'll be the ones to.
Yeah, would it be part of it if they have an internal team of exercise and they invite you? Would it be?
Yeah, if you want to do so as a customer, that's one of the things that you can do with us, like the review of the policy and even a tabletop sometimes is done. Yeah.
Usually do those yearly.